Ang mga opinyon at pananaw sa susunod na programa ay sa mga host at mga panauhin lamang. Hindi ito pananaw ng himpilan o ng pamunuan ng network.
Happy New Year, Team Pinas! Welcome ulit sa programa kung saan bawal ang balat sibuyas sa pagtalakay at paghimay sa mga isyu ng bansa. Ako po si Carlo Flores.
Salamat sa muling pagtutok sa isa't kalahating oras na vibe check at pag-deep dive sa mga kontrobersyang usap-usapan ngayon sa bawat sulok ng bansa. Ako po si Richard Heydarian.
Kaya paikutin na ang roleta at inyong transistor radio dahil mapapakinggan nyo kami sa DZMM Radyo Patrol sa Istrenta at FMR Regional Stations. Available din tayo sa free-to-air digital TV sa PRTV Prime Media at Signal Channel 31. Gayon din sa DZMM Radyo Patrol sa Istrenta Facebook Livestream at PRTV Prime Media YouTube Livestream. Ako po, si Sandro Ochoa. Lahat ng yan, dito lang sa With Due Respect.
O, di ba yun yung pinapabasa ko sa akin? Gumagaling? Oo, haba eh. O, di ba parang papasang
Maiba naman ang Sunday. Mga bigating issue, daanin natin sa kwentuhan. Dumi-deep dive. Pero carry ang idea at batuhan. With due respect, kasama ang Team Pinas. Atty. Dino De Leon, Youth Advocate Carlo Flores, Professor Cleve Arguelles, Dr. Robin Garcia, at Professor Richard Heydarian. With due respect.
Your muscles.
Dahil pumasok na ang 2026, kabilang sa pag-uusapan natin ngayon, ang sentimiento ng publiko sa takbo ng pamahalaan. Kontento ba ang mga Pilipino sa naging trabaho ng administrasyon sa nakalipas na taon?
Himayin din natin ang mga kontrobersya at isyong hinaharap ng bansa noong 2025, pati na rin ang mga dapat aabangan natin sa darating na taon.
Well, bubusisiin din natin ang kontrobersyal na Cabral Files o Leviste Files, hindi. Dokumentong sinasabing galing kay dating DPWH Undersecretary Catalina Cabral. Ano ba talaga ang totoo? Ibinigay nga ba ang dokumento o sapilitang kinuha ni Congressman Leandro Leviste sa opisina ng DPWH?
Kaya naman, mawalang galang po at simulan na ang Vibe Check!
Survey results! Pulso ng bayan! Simplihan natin sa Vibe Check!
Leviste Files.
At ngayong bagong taon, ano nga ba ang grado ng taong bayan sa naging performance ng pamahalaan? Kontento ba tayo sa ipinatupad na hakbang, polisiya at mga programa?
Kaya nga Carlo, paano ba masusukat ang pagiging epektibo ng gobyerno? Sa survey ng Okta Research, 8 sa bawat 10 respondents ang gusto ng reforma o pagbabago sa pamahalaan.
Pero Sandro, nilinaw ni Okta President Ranjit Rai, kaibigan natin yan, na kahit gusto ng publiko ng reforma, hindi ito ibig sabihin na dapat nang palitan ang forma ng pamahalaan natin dahil suportado pa rin ng taong bayan yung ating kasalukuyan na democratic system. So, ang tanong ngayon, ano bang reforma o pagbabago na hinahanap ng ating mga mamamayan?
Kasi nga dapat nga malayo yung tingin, di ba? Hindi naman dapat to...
Step by the step nga, bago sumakses. Bago sumakses, step by the step. Yun na, hindi talaga nasa DNA natin yun eh. Step by the step, pragmatic, just muddling through. Ayaw kasi natin ng extremes eh. Napansin mo, hindi mo ibenta ng extreme sa Pilipinas, whether extreme fascista or extreme komunista. We're always somewhere in yung mga 50 shades in the middle. Talagang politika natin, nasa gitna tayo parati. At of course, I mean, come on, Carlo, last year pinag-usapan natin off the record, on the record, in September, in November, may mga close calls naman tayo. Later on, pag-usapan natin. Ay, hindi ko naman alam na pag-usapan natin, pero baka pag-usapan natin yung ating DIL secretary. Kasi dininay niya sa akin na,
Baka naman kasi
close
sa conversation.
Close call. Pero hindi ko, the fact na ang dami nilang pinadala na police, that means they were taking this seriously, that this could get out of control. May dami gusto mag-RevGov, may transitional council pa, may businessman pang pinili na kunyari. So ako, with that background, with that noise, the signal is very clear. Democratic, gradualist approach pa rin ang gusto ng taong bayan.
paano na si Princess?
Princess.
yung uri na nagbabalat ng patatas. Oo. Diba? So, alam natin yan.
Ikaw na, sumagot ka.
Iba nga tawag sa kanya ni Yusek Claire.
Baka madulas ako. Live na to. Ngayon, medyo ingat na ako. Baka madulas.
Pero malaking bagay, 80% ang naniniwala na reforma, hindi yung abrupt at biglaan. Lalo na yung violente nagpabago.
Because ano ba epekto nito kapag nagpalit tayo ng gobyerno?
Yun nga, I mean, nakita naman natin yung limitasyon ng mga people power. Na actually, peaceful pa nga eh. Hindi pa nga yung French Revolution, Russian Revolution. I think nagigets ng tao na talaga, ang tunay reforma ay says, parang ano yun slow burn, tough talaga, you have to work it from within. At I think nagigets din naman nila na we also need a clear leadership for that. Kasi aminin natin, Zandro, at this point in time, we still don't have a very clear leadership. Meron tayong spiritual leadership from Cardinal Ambo. Meron tayong mga usual suspects na gusto mag-weaponize at hijack nito. But I think we're still waiting for the real leaders of reforms to step up. In fairness naman, I think Vico Soto in his own ways has been signaling that, especially on the Discaya front. We'll talk about big fish, big whale, whatever you want to talk about later on. But I think we want to see more from other mga kumbaga, supposed or ostensible leaders ng ating progressive opposition.
Hindi nangyari noong 2025, pero are we expecting na susubok ulit itong mga ito ngayong 2026?
Yeah, in fairness, agree naman ako dun sa isang parating kasama natin sa 4 alas ba yan?
Ang kapitbahay natin sa 4 alas.
Parang kagabi ko lang kausap. Agree naman
Sino
ako.
ba yan? Pangalanan mo na.
Parang a certain Ronald.
Hindi naman to.
Na parati wrong spelling ang liyamas ko. Yung L-double-L. Yata yung I yung nilalagay. Wrong spelling yan. No, I think this is the year. Kasi one thing we learned in 2020 is you cannot organize yung literally 11th hour and all. It has its own charm na biglang naging pink lahat ng mga, yung mga social media. Pero yung mga ganyang mga last minute, last 2 minutes na big time surprise, we saw the limitations of that. Kasi nung the alliance building of the unit team was months, if not years in the making. So once nag-lock in yan, tapos ng laban basically in 2022. So we have to ensure na hindi mangyari ulit yung mga last minute organization as charming and encouraging as it was. And next year will be probably too late. Diba? I think this year is talaga the year na dapat magsimula ng diskusyon ukol sa mga mekanismo kung saan sinong pipiliin, paano pipiliin, actually more importante, paano pipiliin yung maging standard bearer ng opposition or at the very least yung core leadership na mag-determine ng sino maging standard bearer of opposition. We had many experience, yung one sambayan and mga other things. I think there were, of course, commendable efforts, but we saw the limits of that. So early organization, solid mechanisms of leadership, choosing process, and then sana eventually magkaroon tayo ng clarity, sining standard bearer. Para yun na maging mukha ng tunay na pagbabago at yung vision of a better future.
Noong Richard, noong 2010, naging matunog yung anti-corruption na kampanya, kaya nahalal si President Aquino. Palagay mo in the wake of the flood control issue, magiging central election issue na naman ba yung...
Well, we had the Pulse Asia survey that said, klarong-klaro na gusto ng tao ng talagang masinsinan ng pagbabago dun sa issue ng corruption. But as far as most urgent issues are concerned, over the past 10-15 years, if you look at the Pulse Asia survey, klarong-klaro na it was really in the run-up to 2010 elections na corruption became a major issue. And then in 2015-16, si Digong, he made the drug issue the number one issue. So, ang lesson dyan is, hindi automatic na corruption yung maging top issue. Always the urgent issues are economic. But also the lesson is, kung magaling kang political entrepreneur, katulad ni Digong, you can actually make a non-urgent issue seem urgent. So kung sa tingin mo, ikaw progressive ka, people are not appreciating yung gravity ng corruption enough, actually you can learn something from Digong. He made law and order suddenly a top priority
number one
for
issue.
Everyone, middle class ABC and also DNE. So that's the interesting lesson I get from looking at the longitudinal data of at least Pulse Asia over the past 10
Compared doon, nung babalikan lang natin ng 2025, itong issue on corruption, yung issue ng flood control was not even in the top of the mind of the people prior to the State of the Nation address, di ba? So nung pinaputok yan, saka ulit siya naging number 1. No, parang ganun yung nangyari doon, no? So parang ganung himig ba?
I think actually there's a way to square the circle kung saan if ang pinaka-urgent na issue sa ating mga kababayan is of course inflation, economy, employment, pwede mo idikit yung corruption dyan. Pwede mo sabihin, dahil nga sa corruption, walang matinong kalsada, kaya hindi ginawa yung pabrika, kaya wala kayong trabaho. or dahil hindi ginawa yung kalsada, ang tagal dumating yung pagkain, kaya tumaas ang inflation. Guess mo?
Kaya mahal.
So, kung
Mahal.
idikit mo yung dalawa in a skillful way, that's where Digong was a masterclass in
Naitatahimik niya
political
yung-
messaging Kahit pinagtatawanan ng tao, anong pinagsasabi nito, na-click siya. So he was able to make law and order and the drug issue suddenly a number one issue for many people. So kung sa tingin natin, good governance ang number one issue sa atin, we should not force it on other people. Dapat idikit natin yung ating mungkay at saka ating vision dun sa ano talagang sentimento at saka urgent issue sa ating mga kabayan. You have to put a narrative together. Yung storytelling is very important. Hindi istorya, hindi istorya. Talagang
Yung totoo
narrative in a
talaga.
good way. Yeah.
Pero sa tingin mo, personality-based pa rin o hindi na?
I think it's always going to be personality based. I mean, the same way na step by the step tayo. I think we're always going to... Gusto natin may mukha ng pagbabago. Diba? So that's why, important pa rin sinong leadership ng pipiliin. Napansin ko, hindi mo na ako kinat kasi ito na yung totoong program.
Pero kung ulit tanong na.
Kinakabahan nga ako
Pero kasi pinakakat na
Nag-over
talaga.
Kanina
Sige na, tama na,
Pinakakat na nga talaga tayo.
Q, Carlo.
Eh bago ko nga i-Q, tanong ko nga, di ba, ang demokrasya
Okay
Richard.
ba dyan?
Di pa, ako nga yung pasaway eh.
Kaya, hindi na ako
ikaw
nagsasalita eh.
Ako last question ko lang. O kasi di ba,
Tama.
reforma eh. Babalik ko lang dun
Correct.
sa 8 out of 10, reforma ang hinahanap. Sa di ba sa pag-maintain ng isang demokrasya, yung
Right.
unti-unting bagbabago is something na kailangan para sa isang mas mature na demokrasya, di ba?
Ako, Carlo, ganito. Kung ano yung radical ng pagmamahal yung ginamit nung last time, which I think they got from the case of Turkey, yung opposition sa Turkey. This is from, actually, Rumi's poetry. Mahabang usapan yan. Tayo, radical na reforma ang kailangan natin. So, hindi siya revolusyon, pero hindi rin yung mga pa-cute na reforma or cosmetic changes
Performative.
lang. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I think even the best two reformist president we had, Ramos and Pinoy, hindi sapat yung ginawa nilang reforma. The issues of political dynasties, the concentration of wealth, yung structural problems nandun pa rin. Kaya nga nanalo si Digong Kaya nga bumalik ng Marcoses. So there's a kind of a Goldilocks midpoint, golden mean between just reforma na wala masyadong nagbabago at saka yung revolution at violence. And I believe in radical reform. Na in a way, siguro radical na pagmamahal yan. Yun ang tunay na pagmamahal na kailangan na ating
At ang
demokrasya.
radical na pagmamahal para sa bayan.
At
Siguro, at
radical
yan
na
na nga.
Q.
Yun na nga, tama na nga doon. Sabi nung Siyempre, hindi naman pwedeng kami lang ang dumadaldal. Rinig nyo naman, daldal kami ng daldal. Kaya let's do a vibe check.
Hindi ako yan.
Kontento ba kayo sa naging performance ng pamahalaan? Naniniwala ba kayong kailangan ng reforma sa gobyerno o talagang palitan na lang ito?
Nako, maaari kayong makisali sa Kwentuhan. Mag-comment lang sa post sa Facebook page ng DZMM Radyo Patrol sa Istrenta kung saan nakalagay ang ating vibe check for the day. At syempre, babasahin namin ang inyong mga constructive, helpful, good vibes, opinion at komento sa segment na Take It or yung Cleve Arguelles pa rin sa kotse ko. Hindi ko pa rin kinuha.
At ito na nga para sa radical na Q, pero sa ating pagbabalik, pag-usapan natin ang malalaking istorya at kontrobersya noong 2025, pati na rin ang dapat abangan ngayong 2026. Dito lang yan sa...
With due respect! With due respect.
O, diba? Ilang beses tayo sinabi ito. Hindi tayo tawa.
Nakatutok pa rin po kayo sa With Due Respect. Now, let's take a deep dive sa mga issue at kontrobersyang nangyari noong 2025. Siyempre, kabila dyan yung malaking istorya ng taon na yan, yung pag-aresto, abduction, kidnapping, extraordinary rendition, whatever gusto mong tawagin dyan, kay dating Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte, handing him over dun sa International Criminal Court. It was a dramatic event. Zandro, alam ko, radical na self-restraint ang ginagawa mo sa akin.
Sige, tapusin mo na yan. Dali.
So, yun nga ano yung impluensya ito sa ating politika? And of course, later, gusto kong pag-usapan How do you remember it emotionally, intellectually when it happened?
Okay,
Right.
Carlo.
Oo nga, kaya Richard. At hindi lang naman,
Nag-adlib ako
hindi lang
Linggo.
naman yun, no? At hindi pa rin naman mawawala ang issue ng corruption sa flood control projects. Talaga namang ikinagalit ng publiko ang bilyon-bilyong pisong ninakaw sa pondo ng bayan. Pero bakit parang hanggang ngayon wala pa ring big fish o malalaking personalidad na napapanagot o napapakulong?
Richard, ako na muna to ha. Pero Carlo, hindi rin natin dapat kalimutan ang patuloy na pangaharas ng China sa West Philippine Sea. Tumitindi na ang agresibong kilos ng China sa karagatan. Sa inyong palagay, matatalakay ba ang issue ng West Philippine Sea sa chairship ng Pilipinas sa ASEAN ngayong taon?
Lahat ng yan, tatalakayin natin dito sa
Deep
Dive!
Ready ka na ba? Deep Dive with Richard Heydarian.
Gawing segment yan, radikal.
Radikal na pagmamahal.
Radikal na pagmamahal. O, yan na nga. So ano?
Ito na yan eh. Ito na talaga. Parang tayo, mamaya titignan ko yung mga comment section. Dami nagtutroll sa amin. Ito sila Heydarian, Madam Auring, nagmamarites. Naalala ko, pinagtatawa na kami ni Justice Carpio nung September pa lang ng 2024. Sabi namin, base doon sa mga sources namin, ayun, para akong Dino De Leon dahil sa coffee, mabilis ako magsalita. Noon pa lang, nalaman namin dun sa mga sources namin na baka may ano talaga, may darating na warrant of arrest. Kasi yung ginagawa niya sa akin, nag-upload ako eh.
Gumaganda.
Oo. Diba, pinagtawa na kami, tapos dininay pa ng government and all. And the next thing yun, nangyari yan. But I will say, no, so parang intellectually, hindi ka surprised kasi meron kang parang prior notification information, almost 90% sure. Pero emotional pa rin. Nag-live kami, kasama namin ni Justice Carlo. Nag-live. You could see, we were like, shocked, surprised, excited, I mean like worried all at the same time. Kayo, naalala niyo ba yung moment na yan? Did you even think it was possible for that to happen?
Yun yung unang tuwatak mo sa isip ko. Parang never ko na-imagine na pwedeng mangyari kay President Duterte na, alam mo naman, very still powerful, very influential.
Untouchable.
Untouchable.
Nasa press office kami ng Congress noon.
Anong time
Lahat
yan?
kami So may picture kami na where were you when the
Oo nga.
former President Rodrigo Duterte was arrested. So kami nasa press office.
And what was the
Nakaabang.
emotion? Ano yung emotion?
Nakaabang kasi parang, di ba?
Unthinkable, no?
Tsaka una sa kasaysayan natin na isang dating Pangulo ang dadalhin sa dahig para litisin.
And first Asian leader na dinala doon. So talagang multiple, historic. At parang yung operation ay katulad yung ginawa kay Maduro the other night lang. Like, akala nung iba, lalabas lang siya sa NAIA, doon sa departure area, nakaabang yung supporters siya. Hindi mo pwedeng ano yan. Kasi pero ang ginawa, immediately na-escort out siya, diniretso sa Villamor Air Base. Ang pagkaalam ko, involved yan, intelligence services, military. Pero of course, yung mukha nun was General Torre. Diba? General Torre was the face of it.
Who was then CIDG ba?
Yes, he was
CID.
kakaano lang niya sa CIDG and of course he was still doon sa afterglow ng kanyang
Kibuloy.
pag-aresto naman kay Kibuloy, no? But actually that was a interagency, multiple level, very sophisticated operation. I think even people who oversaw it, they were shocked at how successful and smooth the whole process was. You could see si Digong hanggang last minute, di ba? May mga pictures sa yung paalis na si Digong, parang hindi pa rin nag-sink in sa kanya. And then pagdating niya doon, jet lag pa rin. So parang, I think it took some time for even the former President Digong to realize, oh my God, wala na ako sa Pilipinas. And I think now it's sinking in na it may be possible to spend the rest of his life there.
But that's so 2025. Diba? And so what are we expecting on 2026?
Pag sa issue na yan, di ba? Di ba
issue
ngayon
na yan.
mukhang all signs lead to o tumuturo sa mukhang matutuloy ang full trial. Tama? Kasi yung
Yes.
delaying tactics at iba-ibang mga argument
And
nila
as I
itigil.
said, I may have seen a warrant of arrest for someone else.
So may new cast of characters tayo.
So
A certain senator na baka maging cardboard na rin sa Senate.
Isa yung nagtatago. Nakikita ba natin yung senador
Hindi, biglang
ngayon?
nawala nga eh. Sabi nila, dito Manila, sabi nila nandiyan sa Pampanga, sabi
or
nila...
maybe he's under the rock.
Well, pepels na yata, pulverized pepels. O baka dolomite. Pag
Yung nagdala ng pizza wala sa...
Ayun nga eh. Ay, hindi. Yung nangdala ng pizza, I think 50-50 pa rin ng tao dyan. But by March daw, magkakaroon ng clarity on that. Base sa
So
mga
anniversary
sources
din, no? Halos,
These are
no?
the same sources who confirmed to us the Digong warrant of arrest coming. So, I'm very, very confident about this. Pero of course, whether mangyari ang actual arrest, and then now you have this complication na may request sa Supreme Court to intervene. Yung Supreme Court may ruling din about, kumbaga medyo this time wala nang element of surprise.
Yes,
Kasi kay
yes.
Digong talagang element of surprise and everything like that. This time it's gonna be more complicated. And one reason to be also cautious about whether mangyaring pag-aresto dun sa mga ibang mga sangkot dun sa EJK operations ni Pangulong Duterte is, for instance, yung mga people na at large pa rin na involved dun sa pag-assassinate kay Percy Lapid, yung isa ating colleague na journalist, 'di ba? Alam natin yung iba sa kanila may connection sa kapulisan or galing sa specific people from military background. So, Bato is a former police chief. And if he's in Davao, in his barangay Bato yata or something like that, then perhaps it's going to be more complicated. So, daming drama pang pwedeng mangyari itong taon na to. Kumbaga, yung nangyari sa Venezuela, opening act pa lang yata ng 2026.
Venezuela, hindi Valenzuela.
Ang dami nagsabi eh. Senator Gatchalian.
Gusto lang po namin linawin na iba po ang
Venezuela.
sa Valenzuela.
Pero Richard, will we see more of the Duterte bloc losing power in 2026?
Well, hindi natin nakikita sa surveys. Diba? In terms of yung Duterte base, parang malakas pa rin, solid pa rin. Almost, almost andun pa rin. It's still around a quarter of our population. Although nakita natin, lumobo ito, lampas sa 40% nung inaresto si Pangulong Duterte. So may sympathy factor, which tells you, if something happens to the president before election, close to the election, it could have that swelling effect. I call it the digong bulge, di ba? I sounded wrong. The digong bump. Digong bump.
Okay.
Sorry. Bump.
Duterte bump. Okay.
The Duterte bump. Trump na tuloy. Duterte bump. No, but nakita natin nag-establish around 20-25%. And that's, ang tanong lang dito ay sino maging standard bearer nila? Is it gonna be Sara? Is it gonna be Bongo? Kasi malakas pareho eh. But if mangyari na naman kakaiba, may red wedding na naman mangyari early this year, na baka ma-impeachment na naman si Sara or baka who knows? Baka umabot pa kay Omar Duterte. Kasi the bench is di ba? They have deep bench sa Duterte family.
Aside from yung mga nationally prominent na mga individuals like VP Sara, Pulong Duterte, may mga iba pang mga possible na magmamana nung, kumbaga, yung pagkasikat o yung nagre-rub off ba yung ganong impact ni Presidente? Napapamana ba?
So, kanina pinag-usapan natin ang gusto ng ating kababayan is democratic system pa rin. Pero anong klaseng democratic system? Alam natin may strong populist, kumbaga illiberal strict din tayo. Kumbaga, demokrasya tayo, gusto natin elections. Pero yung human rights, due process, parang hindi yata gumagana yan. Meron at least there's a section ng ating of our society na yung kanilang pag-iisip is, we need a strong leader. And unfortunately, I think yung pag-intindi natin ng strong leader is yung dependent dun sa political will lang ng tao na yan. When people have to realize that actually, what we need is a strong state. So if you go to Denmark and Sweden, napaka-free country, but the state is strong. May ginawa kang mali, huli ka kaagad. Hindi ka nagbayad ng buwis, huli ka kaagad. May corruption nangyari, huli ka kaagad. Kahit prime minister ka, no one is... And they can provide for you. So a true strong state, yun ang kailangan natin. Na capable, na autonomous, independent. But unfortunately, and this is common across many countries, including in the US, among others, is yung idea na, kung marami tayong problema, corruption among others, you just need a strong leader. So if it's not Dutertismo, it's another version of populismo na pwede lumabas. So, just because, even if Sara or Bongo may not run for whatever reason, that doesn't mean mawawala yung ganyan pag-iisip.
Pero iyan ay local politics. Let's go now to a bigger scale. Yung geopolitics, the West Philippine Sea. Pero, at the same time, this year, magiging chair ang Pilipinas sa ASEAN. So, ano yung epekto nito? Will we finally convince other ASEAN neighbors na to make a stand sa West Philippine Sea against China?
Well, unang-una, so we took over from Myanmar. This year, alphabetically, that was Myanmar. So, hindi natin pwede i-ignore yung situation sa Myanmar, especially ngayon kasi nagkaroon yata ng parang sham elections under the military. So, ang Pilipinas historically invested sa democratic movement, Aung San Suu Kyi, ganito, sa Myanmar. So, you should expect that the Philippines will make some big moves, or at least encouraging ASEAN to do something about the situation in Myanmar. Kasi nag-shift na naman yung tides there. The other thing is may bago na tayong miyembro. Hindi na tayo nag-iisang Catholic Christian majority member. There's East Timor, Timor-Leste. Portuguese naman yung background nila, tayo naman Espanyol and American. So we also have to help East Timor to fully transition into a consolidated member kasi medyo limited pa rin yung resources ng East Timor. Because at some point, they also have to host ASEAN. So yung full consolidation of membership of East Timor. Pagdating sa West Philippine Sea, to be honest, I think basically two-track yung approach natin. Sa isang banda, we want to stabilize the situation with China kasi gusto natin, we want to host Xi Jinping, Trump, and world leaders here. At the same time, dito medyo optimistic ako, bilaterally and within ASEAN, baka magne-negotiate na tayo, mag-finalize tayo ng mga deals on maritime boundary delimitation. Mahalaga yan. Kasi gusto natin sabihin sa mundo na Tayo mga ASEAN, wala naman tayong problema eh. Vietnam, Philippines, Philippines, Malaysia, Philippines, Brunei, Indonesia,
Ito yung mga
Vietnam, ayos
co-claimants
sila.
dun sa
Ang problema
space
na
nila.
natin, yung isa dyan na hindi taga-ASEAN, kiniklaim niya 90%.
Oo.
Yun ang problema. So mahalaga na this year, while hindi ako optimistic on ASEAN-China Code of Conduct or magkakaroon ng resolution sa West Philippine Sea, I see some stabilization there. Pero pagdating sa bilateral and intra-ASEAN, ang dami natin opportunities. So I'm quite excited and I'm cautiously optimistic there'll be some big moves there vis-a-vis Vietnam, Malaysia, and even potentially
At
Brunei.
dagdag na rin natin dyan, may bagong ambassador ang China sa Pilipinas.
Yes.
So, how do we sum it all up?
Well, I mean, I had the chance actually to meet the ambassador the other week. Galing siya sa United States. So, familiar siya sa political culture natin, which is very American, right? Very informal siya. We had a long conversation, 1 hour, 2 hour conversation. Of course, very candid, constructive, etc. Obviously confidential. But, I made it very clear na, there are going to be issues that we're going to agree to disagree on. But what's important, and practical din siya mag-isip, step by the step din siya mag-isip. Hindi naman sumakses
Gusto niya rin
agad.
sumakses.
Ang gusto niya, stabilize muna. Kasi gusto niya dumating siguro si Xi Jinping this year here. So sana in the coming months, walang mga malalaking bagay ang mangyari. Actually, I'll be surprised if God forbid something big and bad happens sa West Philippines in the coming months. I'm also cautiously optimistic on that front.
No.
Okay, sige na. Q Richard.
Time out muna sa sarili ko dahil sa aking pagbabalik. Alamin natin kung sino ang lucky winner ng ating rolera at bakit siya naging usap-usapan sa mga kwentuhan. Dito lang yan sa
With due respect.
Ang tawag doon, self-regulation.
Ito pa rin po ang With Due Respect. Muli, ako po si Zandro Ochona.
Ako po si Richard Heydarian.
At ako naman po si Carlo Flores. At excited na rin ba kayong malaman kung sino for the first time this 2026 ang iikutan ng ating Magic Ruleta. Tulad ng dati, paalala lang din, bibigay tayo ng quick comments
Very
sa
quick.
sino mang matatapatan ng mahiwagang ruleta. Sa mga nanonood at nakikinig, pwede rin kayong makijoin. Share your thoughts sa live stream ng ating DZMM Radyo Patrol sa Istrenta Facebook page. Ito ang Magic Ruleta!
Naghahanap po ay
It's time! Ikutin ang Magic Ruleta!
Feeling ko hindi.
very quick.
Oo, we'll try our best. Okay, wala natin patagalin pa. Go, Ruleta! Sino kaya ang ating unang bunot for this year? Op! Okay, nagdesisyon na ang ating Magic Ruleta, ang ating Committee on Appropriations Chairperson, Congresswoman Mika Swansing. May hawak na gavel ngayon sa mga
Yun
nanonood.
nga, speaking of radical na pagmamahal, dahil sa kanya, hindi nag-iisa si Gatchalian doon sa... Di ba may bycam na walang dumating? Parang silang dalawa lang yata magkasama.
Sila sumipot.
Hindi, pero at least ang importante
Oo,
nga,
in fairness,
finally,
may transparency,
Yes.
certain
Yes.
Not
Bukod sa
perfect,
publiko.
step by the step. Step by the step. Yeah. In fairness naman. Tsaka yung nakikita natin, yun ang trend over the past few years. Maraming mga young guns, new leaders na nag-emerge sa
parang may
Congress.
kulang ka kanina may pinanggit ka.
Like yun ang young guns. Young guns muna tayo. Yun ang dapat natin makita. Kasi I think millennial din tong mga to, di ba? I mean, yun nga mga millennials, para tayong burn generation, napaka-konti lang representation natin, buti pa yung Gen Z, nag-step up na. So, I'm glad to see a lot of these young guns, fellow millennials, older, younger, etc. are stepping up. Minus yung mga young guns na yan. Gen Z atin yung basta kanila, di ba? So, yun, So, I think, in fact, you're right.
Suspended ba?
Ano?
Pabalik pa lang sa Kongreso. pero walang nangarap nung ganyang klaseng posisyon na hinawakan niya especially last year. So congratulations at naitawid. At
Yeah, we
meron
have to
tayong
see
budget.
young, millennial, women, smart people stepping up, and that's good. Kumbaga si Gatchalian on the part of Senate, and siya naman on the part of the
Oh, yeah,
Congress.
And we learn from our mistakes. So ngayon, we took the first step, di ba?
Yeah.
Okay, sige, very good.
Go.
Okay, go Ruleta.
Quick comments.
Good start tayo.
Keep it.
Okay.
Alright.
Oh, Department of TikTok. Ay, tourism.
Secretary, DOT Secretary Frasco. Balita ko ay cover page ng
Our
Na isang
beautiful
magazine.
Na isang magazine.
So napaisip ako, saan yung dyan? Infra.
or anything that, di ba, historically, post-pandemic, isa tayo sa mga pinakamababa na tourist arrivals.
Pero lumala eh.
No?
Lumala
so,
Parang grabe.
relative to our Southeast Asian
I mean,
peers.
Thailand and kumbaga Kuala Lumpur and Bangkok now are like top 10, top 5 cities na in the world. Lumalaban na sa Paris, sa Rome, etc. So, parang given na, at saka ngayon, Bati Hanoi, Saigon, Ho Chi Minh City. So, medyo, be honest, nakakaya na. We're not catching up. This is one of the most underperforming departments.
Yes.
And yes, I'm glad may Michelin and all of that. And sana that pushes us in the right direction. Pero yun nga hindi yata sapat na radical love the Philippines. Radical.
Kailangan radical.
Medyo kulang sa passengers.
Tsaka gusto ko lang banggitin, Diyos ko naman, inulan ang binaha. Ang isa sa premier destination sa Pilipinas, ang Boracay, no? Kamakailan lang, di ba? Yung Dimol, binaha. Di ba, ni-rehabilitate dapat yan
Dapat
noong 2018?
And we should have taken the opportunity na bumawi from Bangkok, from Thailand. Kasi nga, nakita natin the past few years, medyo pababa yung tourism nila. Pero ngayon, bumabalik na. So, more competition again for us.
And then Vietnam is coming up. I mean, we have some bright spots like Siargao is becoming big globally. Like sa Europe, everyone knows Siargao na.
Pero mahal yung airfare.
Yun lang.
Isa pa yun.
Parang hindi naman kasalanan ng Department of Tourism yan. Medyo ibang department yata may kasalanan dyan. But nevertheless, I think even in terms of branding, nakukulangan ako. I've been to many countries na, not your usual, like Poland for instance, or yung mga countries na hindi natin primary counterparts before pero nagiging mahalaga ngayon. You go there, you see Vietnam, you see Thailand, you see Bali. I mean, kulang talaga I don't know, is it lack of funds? Is it lack of initiative? Is it lack of a kind of an assertive personality? So, ako, gusto ko someone like Tito Boy Abunda na lang or something like that. Kailangan natin ng isang strong personality as a
Or somebody from the tourism sector.
yeah.
That's true.
Someone na talagang magaling mag-branding and
Quick
all.
pa ba to? Quick na.
Oo nga. Ito na yung quick natin. So sana we turn around the numbers dun sa tourism kasi malaking bahagi siya ng
Malaking
ekonomiya.
Saka nag-generate ng trabaho.
Yun nga.
Importante.
So, yun. So, okay. So, go Roleta. Ito si...
Ay, oo nga. Si Tuwing Iloilo Mayor.
Makikiramay po tayo,
nagkaroon ng
Accident sa gun.
Oo,
yun,
ang taong term ay accidental discharge habang nililinis daw ba or parang ganun, no?
Cult daw, it's like small gun lang
Oo,
natin.
so siguro palatandaan po.
It's a reminder.
Oo, na
Mag-ingat tayo. And sabi nga nila, diba, ang rule nga is always, when you're cleaning your gun, always assume na it's loaded.
Loaded.
Importante talaga yung pag-iingat. Ano?
And siguro dapat may kasama ka rin just in case. I mean, someone also just, double checking with you.
Yeah.
So, yun.
Nakikiramay po kami.
Okay, sige. Okay, yun, very quick. Okay, go Roleta. Ito pang medyo not very quick.
Ibang putok ka yan. Ibang putok.
From putok ng barel to paputok, courtesy of Bukawi and allegedly...
Kumbaga kung may, at least yung ito, may nakita ka, hindi yung ghost project nandun. Diba?
Nakakatawa kasi na yung pangunahin daw bumibili ng
Mga suki pa
mga
nga, no?
paputok.
Ayun.
Yung mga suki daw ay mga DPWH contract.
Oh, yun.
Diba? So, pinatalo na nga yung pera sa casino, pinaputok pa sa langit yung ating
Pero
pera.
good for mental health. At least nag-benefit yung barangay.
Nakinabang na kaysa yung sa
May circulation. May trickle down.
entertainment value.
Trickle down, literally.
Pero kawawa naman yung mga may hika.
Yeah,
Oo. Yun na lang siguro, isang halimbawa din siguro na gano'ng karami yung pera talaga na nakulimbat, parang gumagastos ka nila ng milyon-milyon. Mas malaki pa yata budget mo kaysa sa mga mall, sa fireworks. Diba?
Sabi nga ng Pangulong Marcos, mahiya naman kayo.
Iya naman kayo. Kaya yun. Okay. Sige, go Roleta.
Go Roleta.
Mag-init ang ulo natin dito sa paputok na yun.
Bagong taon na bago.
Usapan yun. Kinontrol ka na lang sa radical talaga.
Isa pa to.
Ayan, yan. Makikiramay po tayo sa kanyang pamilya.
Kay Congressman Acop, no, nakikiramay ka mo na.
Antipolo. Pero alam mo, ang laki kasing shoes din, ano? So may issue kasi ngayon, ang COMELEC, kung ano yung susunod nilang hakbang.
Kasi
Ang
more than a year
sinasabi
pa,
ng NUP ay dapat magkaroon
Special
ng
elections.
special elections.
Sa distrito mismo.
Distrito kasi more than a year pa based on
Yeah.
jurisprudence na kapag more than a year pa, yung natitirang term, kailangan magkaroon ng special elections. So, very big shoes to fill kasi nga, Well, nung Quadcom, nakita natin na talagang siya yung nagtahi nung mga lumabas sa investigasyon ng Quadcom na uugnay nga sa pamilya Duterte. Tinawag pa nga niyang mafia, di ba?
Yeah, grabe yung good combination. Like, kung may young guns ka, meron ka rin mga veterano na katulad niya who were saying, what had to be said, di ba? Kung may radical na pagmamahal, may radical na banat. Di ba? Yun ang ginawa niya. So, at least yung sa kanyang twilight years, he went out on a strong note, I would say, in a very positive, constructive way.
Tsaka ano rin siya, yung boses din niya, yung nung naging panauhin doon sa Quadcom, ang dating Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte, siya rin nag-referee rin siya. Hinarang niya kasi umamba yung dating Pangulo, di ba? Andun din siya noon.
Yun yung extraordinary tapang na mamimiss siguro natin sa pagpanaw ni Congressman Acop.
Oo nga.
Hindi din basta-basta yung hinawakan nilang komite nung nakaraang kongreso.
Oo. Sana magkaroon pa ng maraming kagaya ni Congressman Acop na may paninindigan. Diba?
Okay.
Paano?
Okay, sige, go Roleta.
Bakit tumitingin sa akin? Bakit?
Baka may gusto ka kasi sabihin.
Yeah. Pati naman na nagkakatuloy.
Ayan,
Ayan na.
Yung binabanggit kanina, si
ano yan?
DILG Secretary John Vic
Matangkad siya, no? I mean, in fairness, he kept fit. Kasi ang naalala ko dati, puro mga graphics, memes sa kanya, parating nakaganyan yung ano niya. Tapos, in fairness...
Parang trend yun sa mga DILG secretary. Yung pinita niya din, parang...
Hindi, kasi Vitali, di ba? Yung Vitali ba yan? Yung Russian na, di ba?
Oo nga.
Yung inuuli nila, tapos nakaganon silang lahat. No?
Oo nga, no, very... Hindi, tsaka very... sino na nga yung Russia?
Yung Vitali, na nag-shrink na ngayon. Wala na yatang steroids or something.
Diba? Very, oo nga, no? Presidentiable ba?
Well, at least, that was interesting. Parang hindi pa 2026, nagparamdam na, or at least sinabi niya bukas siya. Because I think, may vacuum eh. I mean, sino maging contender ng administration at this point? Si General Torre would have been in the conversation, but I think General Torre now is more like his own man na, independent na siya. And he's also has good relationship with the pink progressives and all. But I think as far as the top leaders within the admin are concerned, the Remullans in general are doing very well, at least in terms of influence, having the ear of the president. And John Vic, it looks like, at least ako, dun sa pag-usap namin, breezy siya. Confident, go! breezy. Parang 2 hours podcast, go lang. And so, at least you can see the audacity is there. The audacity factor is there.
Ano off the record?
Off the record, ganun din. Kasi alam nila, tatanungin mo sa akin. Kaya yung off the record, consistent pa rin siya. Then I even asking about his health routine. Parang gumigising yata ng maaga yan, 4, 5 a.m., etc. Pero in fairness, this year, he has a lot on his, kasi siyang magsisecure ng lahat ng mga areas kung saan magkakaroon ng ASEAN meetings, including when the big boys are gonna come to town.
And the big boys are...
There's nothing bigger.
So there's a possibility na pumunta dito si Donald Trump?
Kasi last year, nandun sila sa Malaysia. Why wouldn't they come here? Even Xi Jinping might come here this year.
So there's a possibility na merong Chinese
top leader,
top leader, and then
the US
president.
There's more than 50% chance.
The Russian leader also...
No, because tayo, ICC tayo and all. Hindi naman pwede na.
Hindi siya pwedeng lumanding.
Yeah, I think minus Russia, I think there's going to be very high. Even the Europeans, Macron probably will also come. So, so we're looking at some... Kaya, tourism! Speaking of tourism, yun ang suggestion ko, yung mga may Michelin guide na, may Michelin star na, mag-set up na kayo ng, di ba yun yung nagpasikat ng mga Vietnamese restaurant nung dumating sila Macron, Albanese. Alam ko dati sa Jollibee tayo, yung si Justin Trudeau, di ba? Medyo sikat na tayo dyan eh. I think what we need is Michelin. Yeah.
Na sana Filipino food.
Hindi fast food. Hindi fast food. So,
but this is going to be in Clark, which is some sort of a gastronomic destination.
Yeah, yun din.
Perfect,
Exactly.
right?
Not near also Pampanga, which is another major gastronomic
Kaya
capital.
sila sa sisig.
Yun.
Magkakaalaman.
I'm sure. Si Trump siguro mahilig sa sisig yan. I could see that, yeah.
Pero important din ang role ni Sec. John Vic kasi 'di ba lagi the Dutertes are very particular when it comes to peace and order na as a campaign issue kung pag-usapan ng 28. So kailangan ma-maintain din yung peace and order sa Pilipinas.
Yeah, especially, General Torres now in the MMDA, so it will be harder for him to directly talk about law and order, more traffic, right? So now it really falls on John Vic to make the case na hindi totoo yung sinasabi nila na bumalik ang mga addict, bumalik ng ganon. So actually, yung showing strong ganon, in a way, it feeds into that image na the Marcos admin could also become strong on the fighting drugs and corruption and other issues.
So, babantayan natin.
O kasi mabait si BBM tignan, di ba? Hindi siya yung tough guy. So basically, John Vic is like the macho boy within the
Pero kailangan pa rin niya galingan dahil doon
talaga, oo. Hindi pwede performative lang. Talagang radical competence talaga.
Sige, go Roleta! Gusto kayo may audio cue na tayo. From Heydarian Mulya to another. Thankfully that he is alive in the rumors.
But that would be weird, no? I mean, if he runs for president as ombudsman yung kapatid niya, if he becomes, dapat mag-resign yung isa kasi hindi pwede ombudsman tapos presidente niya, kapatid niya, medyo weird yan.
Kung magbabantay sa sarili mong kapatid.
Pero Boying made it clear na he loves the job. And it looks, and they're denying all of these rumors na there's, that he's not doing, I mean...
kasi namahalata namang AI, Diyos ko naman.
Well, he was not doing very well health-wise the other year, but I think he improved. Doon sa
nag-leave siya last year, di ba?
Tsaka yung 4 alas, di ba? Nung other month, he looked strong, he looked healthy and all of that. I think, unfortunately, many people are interested in him not doing well health-wise and otherwise because pwede silang masampahan ng kaso ng ombudsman. Many big personalities.
Sino?
No, whether ito yung mga potential senators and congressmen doon sa listahan ng flood control issue, whether ito yung pagsusuri niya doon sa final ng civil society groups about Sara Duterte alleged corruption or abuses, he's gonna oversee. Actually, the ombudsman now is the new center of gravity. Lahat tayo umaasa sa ombudsman office. Kasi nga, for the past, 6 years, parang figurine yata yung ombudsman natin.
Paano yun? Gumaganon ba?
Hello. Wala nangyari. People even forgot there is an ombudsman. Sino siya? Kaya, ewan ko yan kay Martires na yan. Ewan ko yan. At saka, in fairness kaya, Boying Authority was saying, malaki yung corruption sa judicial system natin. So, at least, they're being open about some of the problems. Last year was a fantastic winning streak for a lot of people sa Sandigan Bayan. Di ba? Lahat ng mga tao na allegedly sangkot, di umano, sa mga corruption.
Nakalaya.
The late Enriles, the Binais, lahat, Napoles, lahat sila. Last year was a fantastic year sa Sandigan. It was the year of acquittal. Right? So, ngayon, tingnan natin sa
2026 has something in store for them.
By the way, Sandigan Bayan po yung korte na magde-decide. Yung ombudsman, yun yung prosecutor. Kasi parang hindi yata alam ng tao yung trabaho. Kaya nga, figurine kasi yung isa hindi nata alam na
nabaon kasi sa limot for the longest time, we didn't know what an ombudsman
kasi si Digong lahat Digong is the judge, the executioner, the joker, the entertainer, midnight. Tapos di ba meron pa siyang mga sa gabi tinetape, pero sa umaga nilalabas. Or sa umaga tinetape sa gabi. Ano ba talaga? 24/7 show Grabe pa noon ni Digong, di ba? It was a simulacra. It was just like...
What's that?
Parang it's a show, it's like a reality show and like everything. Grabe nun
kaso nga lang problema, real life ang kalaro.
Ang problema namamatay ang tao,
diba?
Yun ang problema Otherwise, it would have been,
Okay, at least masaya tayong marinig na hindi totoo ang rumors na may sakit si ating
baka we can have him on our show next week or something.
Sige, punta po kayo. Okay, go Roleta!
Ayun!
Okay. Our ambassador to the Humba.
Kaya ka ba walang scarf mo yata yan? Hinirap ba niya?
Tsaka yung pagtay ko, ganun din. Ganun style.
Pero parang, mahilig ka rin siguro sa Humba. Hindi.
Parang iba. Nasaan ba yan?
Bakit parang yung sa'yo mas masikip?
Hindi, yung sa kanya para mas mahal yata yung version niya. Kasi yung maraming version ng Burberry ba yan? May mas mura yung yung manipis lang. Ito mukhang makapal
Okay, ibang
unless yan.
Ibang thread ang gamit siguro nito. Pero ano namang balita dito sa former human rights lawyer natin?
Di ba Austria na ba? Parang Before Sunrise. Napanood mo yung movie ng Lovers, yung Before Sunrise si Ethan.
Tsaka si Judy Delpy.
Sa Vienna
nagkakilala sila sa train.
So baka naman, is having his
May kaganon siya?
Hindi naman siguro. But he looks... He looks... Kailangan niya ng radikal na pagmamahal.
Akala ko radikal na pagbabago.
Kasama na rin siguro yun.
Alam mo yung song na, no? Yung Waiting to Get Lucky. Alam mo yung song na yan? Yung,
Bakit?
parang ganun. Hindi, because feeling ko, ikaw, binibigyan mo ng ibang ano. No, I think his game plan is just wait for Duterte to come back to power. He's still hoping Parang he's just holding out.
Or
and
maybe
holding
that's
out.
his only option. That's the only chance he has. No?
But if it works, I mean, jackpot siya.
Oo.
Unless, mana na naman siya nila Sara, di ba? Umasa siya yung maging lawyer nila.
Pero ilang beses na kasi siyang pinagtutulakan para hindi mo pa
Ayaw pa.
makikita yung, di ba? Get a clue.
Kapag ayaw sa'yo, huwag mo na ipagsiksikan niya sa sarili mo.
Baka matutuloy yung episode na.
I mean, he's still relevant. Hinuhumba niya parating sarili niya sa topics, di ba?
Hinuhumba?
He's in the center of discussion and all, di ba?
Oh, pero harapin niya na rin yung kaso niya dito.
At saka
Yun lang naman
umuwi
ang
ka
hamon
na,
doon.
di ba?
Yun na nga, harapin mo na.
Mga tinitingnan nga namin yung bahay niya sa Baguio Allegedly, yung di umanong bahay niya.
Di ba maganda yung view,
Ikot-ikot ako, ang ganda ng area, May sabi, ang ganda ng area to. Sana, maging kapitbahay mo si Harry Roque ngayon.
Parang never
Or
mind
kung
na
sino
lang.
nandyan ngayon, di ba?
Tsaka at least pwede kayo mag-compare ng ano.
Oo, scarf.
Parehas kayo ng thread count. Okay, sige, go Roleta. Napunta tayo sa scarf. Why the first time? Sa
for the
kasaysayan
first
ng Roleta,
time,
meron
yes,
tayong foreigner.
We've finally entered the international stage.
International.
Okay, so US President Donald J. Trump, no,
The greatest president.
welcome to the Roleta.
I know. Wonderful. Nakita niyo yung nanalo ng The Voice na Filipino? Yung picture sila ni
Sa Mar-a-Lago nag-perform.
Jessica Sanchez.
No,
No,
si
yung lalaki.
Si Sofronio Velasquez.
yes.
A great start to the year.
He performed sa Mar-a-Lago.
Maga Pinoy, Maga Pinoy. Ano, may sinabi ka kanina. Ay, mga
Tayo sabihin niya.
Maraming mga maga Pilipino, no? Na talagang go na go kay President Donald Trump.
Pero si
He's
Donald-
quite a showman, isn't
And then we woke up to the news
to
this
the
morning na si Donald Trump, President Trump, authorized.
Yes.
Diba, the operation in Venezuela. Hindi po Valenzuela, mga kababayan.
Okay pa si
Venezuela.
Mga Chilean bro. No, apparently, some very legit sources are saying it was supposed to be conducted in Christmas time pa. Kaso may operation sila against, I think, Boko Haram, yung ISIS, Daesh group sa Nigeria. And then there were weather condition issues. Kaya napunta ngayon sa January. So it was actually supposed to be the Big Bang before the end of 2025. Pero naging biglang Big Bang to the start of the year siya. As many as 150 aircrafts daw ang involved dito. So it was not a small operation. Kasi yung pinag-usapan dito is it's a Delta Special Forces raid. Totoo yan, may interagency, may DEA, etc. Kasi parang legal justification nila is this was a drug enforcement issue head ng cartel. Di umano daw si Maduro. Na ngayon ay fashion icon doon sa kanyang Nike. Just do it. Just do it. No, but this was a huge operation. But I think it's also very possible na it was a negotiated abduction, meaning may mga tao sa loob na hindi natutuwa. In fact, one of the running theories that Maduro was very dependent on foreign intelligence forces to protect him, especially from Havana, etc. At baka may hindi natuwa doon sa hindi Venezuela side.
Wala po sa Paso
And
de
baka-
Blas.
These are kasi napaka-smooth and seamless may pagka-postmodern yung nangyari dito di ba? But at the same time, it still begs the question, so what's next? Kasi kung tinanggal mo lang si Maduro, pero andun pa rin yung defense minister, interim minister,
Yeah.
yung vice president ngayon na president, so what's the next step? And yung si Machado, which is the leader of opposition na nala ng Nobel Peace Prize na big fan, MAGA din yun. Parang kung may MAGA Pinoy, may MAGA Venezuela.
Hindi Venezuela ulit, ha?
Baka meron din sa Venezuela. Sabi ni Trump, hindi, inano lang niya, sabi niya, we will run it. Kanina lang, kaya nga hindi ako natulog, sabi niya, we will run Venezuela. Like, what does he mean?
Yun yung nakakapagtaka kasi parang sa panahon ngayon, kailan nangyari na ibang bansa ang papatakbo ng ibang bansa?
And I thought we were done with forever wars and yung experience sa Afghanistan, Iraq, and Libya, whatever. I don't know what they're gonna do. And then, of course, everyone says, it's not about oil, it's not about this, but President Trump, just listened to him. He said, wala namang gastos dyan, ma-reimburse lang tayo dyan, padala natin. And the companies are lining up, big companies. I mean, Venezuela, hopefully Venezuela one day. Venezuela has the biggest reserves of oil in the world. Bigger than Saudi Arabia, bigger than Iran and Russia combined in Iraq. So, huge reserves. But dahil yung quality niya ay medyo hindi ganun kataas, hindi siya light crude, kailangan ng very heavy processing. So that's where you need technology. That's where you need investments. And President Trump, being a businessman, he was almost going to the details. This is what we need to bring there. Kaya nga
Excited siya i-announce.
Nagdadrive ako pa uwi. Nakahaba naman ang press ko. Hindi-explain na ba't yung drilling process, yung crude level, yung purity level. I mean, it was really like out of this world. But
Which is ironic kasi ang usapan, di ba, nilabel na narco-terrorist operation o kontra
pero di ba,
narco-terrorism.
so ngayon biglang pinag-usapan yung Mexico, the president is not doing enough about cartel. Yung
The cartel,
Colombian president was being accused of not doing enough about cocaine. Like, where is this going? Where is this going? So on one hand, yung mga supporters ni Trump, katulad ni Milei ng Argentina, they're all in on this. Tama lang yan. Dictator, tinanggal. But Brazil and other big countries in the region, in Latin America, are very, very worried about the presidency's steps. And also to the north, Greenland. But yung mga Denmark is worried. Baka next thing you know, biglang Greenland is iba na yung may-ari, diba? So we are entering a very, very different world, I would say. You want to call it rule of the jungle, you want to call it Trump doctrine, whatever you want to call
Pero
it.
anong epekto nito sa Pilipinas?
Well, I mean, if you are a Philippine military and army and you look at it like, wow, napaka-efficient ng US. Like, di ba? Kasi tinitrain yung army natin ng US eh. So actually, from an operational, tactical point of view, it's like, wow, that's pretty like smooth, right? Na-disable yung command and control center, boom, 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 everything. Even if my inside job and intel, at the end of the day, it's a tactical operation. At the same time, pwede mo sabihin, wait, if pwede sabihin ng US lang yan and then abduct siya, baka pwede rin sabihin ng China yan sa Taiwan. Or mamaya ayun na sa Pilipinas, sabay magpadala din sila ng helicopter. Or, I mean, in a way, that's what Putin says on Ukraine, di ba? This is our world, right? This is our backyard.
Amin to.
So, that's why many people are wondering, so what's gonna happen to the rules-based international order? What's gonna happen to international law, di ba? So, that's why I'm saying this is a much more complicated issue than people think. So, pag-usapan natin na mabuti, this is not about whether you're pro-Trump or anti-Trump or pro-Maduro, anti-Maduro. I think it's well beyond that. We all should be against any kind of authoritarian system, whether lefty, righty, or whatever propaganda. But this is also a question of rules-based international order. Especially for us, yung mga mas maliit na bansa, na hindi tayo superpower. Kaya hindi ko maintindihan yung mga kaibigan natin, mga maga Pinoy na
Sinusuportahan.
what if ganun din mag-isip yung China and Russia na sabi niya, pwede rin namin gawin yan sa backyard namin, di ba?
Sabi niyo, quick lang.
Oo nga. Sige, tingin ko rin, go Roleta. Mag-overtime ba tayo this 2026?
Ayan.
Ayan
Speaking
pa,
from
another.
superpower ko
Diba? Kung ikaw, Xi Jinping, titignan mo ngayon yun, diba? Na ako, I think Xi Jinping, unlike Putin and also unlike Trump, I think medyo long game siya eh. Not to mention, he doesn't have to run for elections for civil feature. So medyo long game pa rin siya. I don't think tomorrow we'll see an invasion of Taiwan or like, I don't know, special ops dito sa Malacanang against us. No, but in the long run, I think you're creating some sort of psychological conditions for China to think once they become as really superpower militarily, kasi superpower na sila economically, na baka we can also have our own version of a Monroe Doctrine. Na pag etong Asia, ito yung backyard namin, dapat walang makialam. Kasi that's what the Monroe Doctrine is. Yun ang ginawa ng US noong early 19th century. Basically, ang point nila is, the whole Americas region, dapat walang makikialam dito na foreign powers. Europeans back then, now Russia, China. Right? But my point is, if you're Xi Jinping and looking at this, the least you're going to do for now is to strengthen further the military and be ready for something out of the blue. Kasi I think Trump has made it clear that the old rule books, or at least pretense to old rule books, are no longer there. So I think China will just double down on their current path, which is self-sufficiency, strengthening themselves, building their military capabilities, which in a way is not good for us, because it means we have to also step up and train more. And inevitably, papasok naman yung alliance natin with the US. So let's also see what's going to happen on that front. But if you're also Taiwan, you're also worried about how, the world is moving in a very unpredictable direction.
Oh, di ba?
Diba?
So para sa mga nakikinig, no, at narinig nyo ang Monroe Doctrine this afternoon, with due respect.
Don Road.
Don Road
Doctrine.
May iteration. At yun na, dyan na tatapos ang ating Magic Roulette. Kaya sa ating pagbabalik, pag-uusapan naman natin ang kontrobersyal na Cabral Files o dokumentong sinasabing galing kay dating DPWH Undersecretary Catalina Cabral. Dito lang yan sa With Due Respect.
Welcome back sa With Due Respect dito sa segment na BS Politics, also known as Bawal ang Balat Sibuyas. Pag-uusapan naman natin ang tinatawag na Cabral Files o yung Leviste Files ba? Ito yung dokumento na sinasabing galing kay dating DPWH Undersecretary Catalina Cabral na naging kontrobersyal ang dokumento dahil sa magkakaibang pahayag kung paano nga ba ito nakuha ni Batangas Congressman Leandro Leviste at kung bakit mistulang pili lang ang kanyang isinasa publiko.
Kaya nga, Zandro, sinabi ni Leviste na may basbas daw ni DPWH Secretary Vince Dizon ang pagpapalabas ng nasabing dokumento. Pero itinanggi naman ito ni Dizon at ang pahayag niya, iginit niyang hindi niya pa nga nakikita ang dokumento. Kinestyon din ng sinasabing pwersahan at iligal na pagkuha ni Leviste ng dokumento mula sa opisina ni Cabral sa DPWH.
Tama ka, Carlo. Nagbanta pa nga si Congressman Terry Ridon na posibleng masampahan ng ethics complaint si Leviste. Barzaga fight na kung mapapatunayang sa pilitan niyang kinuha ang mga dokumento bukod sa Cabral Files. Sa pilitan din umanong kinuha ng kongresista ang mga papeles sa Batangas 1st District Engineering Office. Kaya ang tanong ng bayan ngayon na ano na nga ba ang totoo sa mga pahayag ni Congressman Leviste? Sasagutin natin yan. Dito lang yan sa
Balat Sibuyas!
Bawal ang pikon! Huwag kang BS! Balat Sibuyas!
Hindi na pala tayo bawal. Balat na tayo.
Pwede na daw.
O ayan, o ano?
O, di ba?
Ayun, hindi alam mo, ang unang-unang tanong ko dyan, bakit siya may hawak ng ebidensya? Hindi naman trabaho ng congressman. Ang trabaho ng congressman ay gumawa ng batas. Ano na yun? Hindi naman siyang ginagawang batas pa. Pangalawa, hindi rin naman nag-iimbestiga ang Kamara o kaya ang Senado. Right. Kung hawak na niya yung ebidensya, bakit hindi siya ang magsampa ng kaso?
Ayun din ang nagtataka ko. Kasi kung gusto nga niyang imbestigan, edi ihapag niya sa tamang komite para mailabas yung dokumento sa proseso na naaayon sa batas. Yung hindi ka nalang papasok allegedly sa opisina para kumuha. Baka may legal implication pa yan na-obtain mo yung dokumento ng isang maaaring illegal na paraan.
At meron pa nga, diba, issue pa nga na paper cut daw si
may
dating
picture, no?
DPWH Undersecretary Catalina Cabral nung inagaw daw. Hindi natin malalaman kung totoo ba yan o hindi. Pangalawa, bakit nga nasa iyo?
Well, I mean, hindi ko naman sinasabing Apple Awards of the Year, pero medyo nakakamiyaw-miyaw minsan yung mga pangyayari dyan. Talagang cringe minsan yung biglang may tumawag, tapos talagang sasabihin mo sa microphone. I mean, we clearly know na etong tao na yan ay may ambisyon. I don't know if he wants to run for Senate or President one day or whatever. Gusto niya mamarka talaga. I mean, this is disruption politics 101. Pero ang advice ko lang, kumuha ka ng bagong PR team or kung wala kang PR team, kumuha ka ng matinong PR team. Kasi medyo, alam ko benta siguro sa mga DDS base yung mga pinaggagawa niya. But I think if he wants to really get more respectability, assuming his intention is good, let's just assume that, then sana medyo mas seamless sana, di ba? Kung opposite, masyadong radical yung ginagawa niya.
Nasobrahan naman na pagka-radical to.
Parang parati may Leviste element. Parang Barzaga 5, Cabral, parati may Leviste. So, kung may Ronald Llamas parati na analysis, meron parating Leviste na expose. Nagtatapatan yung dalawa na yan eh. Ano sila eh? Ubiquity strategy at ang tawag dyan. Just be there always, you know, in the
We have
the
to be
news
present
cycle.
everywhere.
Everywhere, all at once.
All at the same time.
Yung ganun, parang ganun yung style
Parang
niya.
siyang high school musical. We're all in this together.
Yeah, parang chill lang. Sayang, kasi I think the start was good. I mean, he's clearly a smart kid, he's a good businessman, obviously. Marami siyang potential. It's a long runway. Don't rush it. Don't force it. At don't start alienating people right and left. Diba? Kasi down the road, that's gonna come back and bite you. So, hina-hina lang. Sana nagkaroon siya ng major reflection sa New Year na there is disruption and then there's Apple. Medyo iba yun.
Oo nga naman.
Hindi, tsaka ano yung connection naman nito? Dahil nga, previously, ang mga running mga issues ay yung kay Ramil Madriaga at saka kay VP Sara Duterte. Bakit biglang merong ganitong angulo na
Dadivert ba ang issue? Ano bang yan?
Tingin mo?
Hindi ko well, hindi pa nga nagsimula 2028, parang ang dami na expose na may implikasyon sa 2020. Dito talaga natin makikita na naging zarzuela na talagang politika natin eh. Unfortunately, it sells eh. I mean, politically, you can see in terms of engagement and all of that. Pero guys, if there's one thing we learned from the past decade, and especially since the Dutertes become so powerful, is maganda na magkaroon ng entertainment, but you need competent leaders systematically. Kahit boring, basta someone who can get things done. At unfortunately, ginagawang zarzuelang politika. Itong fighting corruption, it's systemic corruption. So dapat yung solution mo rin, yung approach mo, systematic din. Pero dahil sa zarzuela na yan, ang dami nagmamagaling, dami nagmiyaw-miyaw dyan, nadidistract ang taong bayan. We need to have an intelligent, evidence-based discussion ukol dun sa laban sa corruption.
Speaking of evidence-based, di ba, nagsalita ang Assistant Ombudsman na si Miko Clavano na sabi niya, parang piecemeal lang ibinigay yung detalye ng dokumento.
At kung pwede manipulate, hindi na yan admissible sa court.
Yun.
So pwede ma-taint na yung the whole evidence, assuming there's real evidence, because ano yan, Excel files and all yun, pwede mo i-manipulate yan. So basically, so this guy doesn't seem to know how to handle evidence. It's not clear where he gets this so-called evidence, right? And yun nga, and my point is, unfortunately, it's not helping the situation. It's just adding more confusion and noise. What we need is a systematic approach na base dyan sa batas at due process, diba?
So what are we expecting for 2026? Especially na may ganito. Bumungad sa atin ito ngayong 2026. What are we expecting?
I mean, this year is going to be probably even more zarzuela than last year, diba? Kumbaga, diba? Who knows, baka by February, there will be, again, discussions about impeachment of Sara Duterte once yung time limit is removed, although with new rules which could introduce its own interesting dynamics. Pinag-usapan natin yan before. There's also, circulating discussion about whether there's indeed a warrant of arrest for Bato. Sa pagkalam ko, yes, from ICC, but what's gonna happen on that front? Arestuin ba siya? Pupunta ba siya sa Senado? Magdadrama ba siya? Ano ba mangyayari dyan? And then, of course, there's also the February. Siyempre, big month yan dun sa mga progressive liberal friends natin. And to be honest, from what I hear is, there's growing impatience. There's a sense na the government is not moving fast enough kasi dapat nung December pa, sinampan ng kaso dun sa Big Fish. But there's also this sense na opposition leaders are also not stepping up enough, right? You have spiritual leaders stepping up like Cardinal Ambo. But what about the opposition leaders? Sino bang opposition leaders talaga? Sino maging standard bearer? So there's a lot of impatience, but I think February could be really, really a big month where we could see again big, massive protests by different groups. And again, the government put under pressure. So, in short, January talaga mag-double time talagang gobyerno. And sana magkakaroon ng clarity on ano yung maging listahan ni Ombudsman, sino talagang ilalagay dyan. Tunay ba ng mga big fish? Hindi fishes, no? Big fish. Big whales ba pwedeng sabihin? So, the January month will be a critical month for the administration, not to diffuse the tensions, but to build confidence. At least dun sa mga progressive and genuine opposition
And yung pagbibuild
forces.
ng confidence ay talagang klarong aksyon, di ba? May masampahan ng kaso, may makulong, may mapakitang mga...
Tsaka yung tuloy-tuloy yung transparency sa BICAM issue, yung mga pagbabago na hinahanap ng tao dun sa budget, right? To make sure na wala na naman mga kalokohan na mangyari. In fairness naman, again, step by the step. Hindi pa naman tayo sumakses, but papunta tayo sana dyan. So I think the first weeks of this year are immediately gonna be about sending the right signals, reassuring people. And of course, this year, BBM is the ASEAN chairman. He's gonna also welcome the global community. So this is also about investors' confidence. Kasi we're gonna miss. The numbers are not out yet, but my suspicion is we're gonna miss our growth target by far. Yung 6.5% na we were hoping. So, double time tayo this year. Hindi lang sa tourism, talagang buong economy natin nag-suffer, unfortunately, because of everything we had to suspend or freeze dahil nga, 'di ba, dito sa corruption scandals na parang nakakatakot na nga, may projects ngayon. So that's why mahalaga rin yung trabaho ng Kongreso to make sure there's a continuity in infrastructure projects, there's a continuity in economic activity, at saka yung mga tulong sa ating mga kabayan na yan. So it's a hard balancing act, but that's what leadership is all about.
And yung Ramil Madriaga, what happens now? Kasi diba, binisita na siya ni dating Senador Antonio Trillanes, ni Representative Laila de Lima. What are we expecting? Yung track na yan, yung Ramil Madriaga na yan, what are we expecting for 2026?
Ako, for me, the important thing here is that talagang dapat scrutinize natin. Kasi there's always also a fear na baka magkakaroon ng fake expose and then ma-expose siya as fake, and then a real expose will no longer be taken seriously. Kaya dapat due diligence, hindi lang due respect, due diligence to, 'di ba? Radical scrutiny, 'yun ang kailangan natin. Kasi we don't know 'di ba? Baka mamaya ano lang 'yan, parang pakit-pakit or ano lang 'yun.
To red herring
Set
ba
up
ito?
lang 'yan, exactly. So if this is indeed true, dapat talagang airtight. The same way, sabi ko nga, kung may ombudsman list doon sa mga dapat airtight. Otherwise, yung mangyari, ang dami na acquit na nga last year, di ba, sa Sandigan Bayan, parang the year of acquittal yun eh.
Pero malayo naman na maging figure rin si Ombudsman Boying.
Ay, parang ngayon pa lang, parang mas marami na siyang na-accomplish in the first few months rather than the past few 6
Yun
years.
nga, but
nung
that's the
pinalitan.
sad thing, di ba? You go like from Conchita Carpio Morales level, and then you go figuring, and then you go back again. Sana magkaroon tayo ng continuity, di ba? Na
Right.
yung 10-0, 10-0 yung style. Sana may continuity tayo. At sana ma-institutionalize. So I like, again, what the good ombudsman said about reforming the judiciary. You know, we can talk about the Remulias and Boying himself, but at least he's saying the right things. He's pointing at the problems, institutional reforms, including sa judicial system natin. Because at the end of the day, no matter what the Congress, Senate, the President do, depende rin yan sa judicial system natin kung gagawin nila yung trabaho nila. Because at the end of the day, people have to be held accountable in accordance to the rule of law. Kasi yun din ang sabi ng tao, according to Ranjit Rai.
Reform-oriented, di ba?
Yes,
So,
absolutely.
pero yun nga, kay Ramil Madriaga, abangan din natin. Kasi ang hinihingi naman ni Congresswoman De Lima ay ebidensya. Patunayan mo yung aligasyon mo doon sa iyong affidavit. Malamang idinihingi ni Senator Trillanes.
Baka may trap yun eh. Sabi ko nga, kaya ingat talaga tayo dyan. Yeah.
So, mapagmatyag.
Ang importante, may nagsimula na. So, follow up na lang natin kung ano mga susunod na mangyayari. Abangan sa aming pagbabalik. Babasahin naman natin ang inyong opinion, komento at kuro-kuro sa ating vibe check. At kung sino ang mabibigyan natin ng pangmalakasang With Due Respect mug, dito lang yan sa With Due Respect.
Kasama ba yung ano natin, yung Kiss March natin?
Dunudumog ka na ba, Richard?
Ano ba naman, holidays na, OT pa rin kaibigan natin.
At patuloy pa rin kayong nakasubaybay sa With Due Respect. Ngayon naman, babasahin namin lang inyong mga komento sa ating vibe check. Na kontento ba kayo sa naging performance ng pamahalaan at naniniwala ba kayong kailangan ng reforma sa gobyerno? At syempre, bilang mga judger, magdidesisyon kami if we will either take it or cleave it!
Take it or cleave it?
O sino na magbabasa? Sandro, video honors.
Si Richard
O sige, Richard.
Richard, do the honors.
Ano ba?
Yeah.
Ano na? Hopefully, mamulat na ang mga Pilipino ngayong bagong taon. Marami pa rin ang kapos sa pang-unaw at sarado ang pag-iisip. Malapit na rin kung iisipin ang 2028 election. Ayun pala, baka
Sabi to ni Dennis Ang.
Galing.
Take it or cleave it?
Take it. Double take.
Double take.
Take
Okay, sige. Tama naman.
Oo, tama, di ba? Dapat ngayon.
Galing.
Tsaka medyo tapos na yung Christmas ceasefire. Na parang kinalimutan natin lahat ng problema.
Nag-unilateral ceasefire ako.
Balik tayo sa real life.
Nag-unilateral ceasefire. Kasi violate pa rin eh.
Kasi nakita ko nga yung mga comments sa'yo.
Nag-unilateral ceasefire.
Okay, sige. Alright, next comment. From Ian
Ikaw naman.
Sara. Hindi
naman.
kailangan baguhin ng framework ng government. Ang kailangan natin ay mga leader na tapat
Yun,
para
leadership.
umangat ang buhay ng
Yung isa yung
lahat.
personalities talaga mahalaga pa rin sa atin. No?
O, take it or cleave it?
Take it din.
Take it.
Yeah.
Kasi ngayon nga yung, di ba? Yun nga yung tanong ko lagi eh. Sa personal na lang ba tayo? Mga personalities na lang
Both,
ba
di
tayo?
ba? Both eh. You have to take it and cleave it. Like, you need both eh. You need framework din. Kasi kung personalidad lang, may limitation ng tao eh.
Oo.
Meron ka dapat theory of change pa rin, di ba?
And people change.
And people,
Exactly.
in the worst way possible, not always the better.
Di ba sabi nga ng paborito kong political science professor na si Professor Ranjit Rai?
Yun, ating
Di
guro.
ba mahalaga ang mga institusyon? Di ba? So we have to strengthen our
Correct.
institutions. Yun lang naman isa sa susi para magkaroon ng mas mahabang pagbabago at lasting, no? Na pagbabago.
Pero yun nga, politics is both mythos and logos.
Yes.
Yung logos yung logical, reasoning, institutions. Pero kailangan din ng mythos. Kailangan ng figure of inspiration, emotions, and passion. Lalong-lalo na sa kultura natin. Hindi lang tayo step by the step. Ano rin tayo, emotional din tayo na bayan. And no judgment. It's just who we are, so we deal with it as it is. So sangayon ako na kailangan din natin ng clear leadership.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ayun na nga. Well, Let's see.
Let's see, yeah.
Okay,
Okay,
may next comment pa tayo.
Ito na,
Sandro,
ikaw
ikaw na
naman,
to.
Sandro.
Ito. Pinakamasayang araw ko yung binitbit nito si Diggs. Ano, take it or leave it?
Okay sa akin, for the sense of justice, I will take it. Oo.
Pero alam ko hindi niya binitbit eh.
Pero,
Hindi naman yung binitbit.
pero yung konsepto ba na nadala niya? Oo. I mean,
Pero yun yung sinasabi ko eh. Like, sorry, I
Go
cut you there.
ahead.
General Torre was the face of that operation. But that was an interagency, super special ops. Meron pa nga may mga hypothesis na nag-feed din ng false information. Kaya nga si Harry Roque, very confident na walang... Kasi meron siyang Tweety Birds sa Department of Justice.
may Tweety Birds.
So nag-double agent yung iba. So false information. Kaya nga nakita mo, nag-live siya noon. Walang warrant of arrest. Siguro. Kasi meron siya, yung pala, may double agent nagpo-false information. Kasi di ko umuwi. Akala niya wala na eh. So kumbaga, there were multiple sides to it. At dinala sa Villamor Air Base, so military operation intelligence yan. But Gerald Torre was still the face, he oversaw it. So kumbaga, yun nga yung sinasabi ko, it takes both eh. Teamwork, strong institutions, but also a face, a leader, a vision. And that's what Torre brought to the table.
Di ba?
Interesting.
Yeah. Hanggang ngayon, because people don't understand. Parating sa, tinanggihan ba siya ng China, ng asylum gana? Ako feeling ko is more like, hindi naman trip ni Duterte magstay sa China kasi everyday babantayan siya ng mga security
So may
agents.
angulo yun na feeling niya. May angulo ba na unity
May
yun?
false information. Na fake news din siya.
Na fake news din
Sa
siya.
dulo.
What goes
gumaling
around
siya ng
comes
fake
around
news.
nga naman.
Exactly. Nanalo siya ng power with fake news. In the end, fake news that was a special intelligence operations. Wow. Yan alam ko. Told to me by sources. Yeah.
Meron pa ba?
Meron pa ba tayong babasa? Okay, let's
next.
go.
Take it.
Okay, ayan. Isama na kay
Maduro yan. Oo.
ng mga
Government
government officials, executive, legislative, and judiciary all now na. Oy, grabe naman utusan tayo.
Kasama pa si Bato.
Pwede ba tayo utusan?
Kasama pa si Bato.
Magagalit yung isang kalihim dyan kapag ka inuutusan.
Utusan, oo nga.
Bawal sa utusan. Oo.
Maduro.
Hindi, pero sorry, kung isasama, paano nga yun, no, Richard, no? Kung isasama lahat, di wala nang natira.
Hindi bagsak nga lahat.
Hindi, yun nga yung sinasabi ko, kaya i-clip it ko yan. Kasi parang, even if maraming tao ayaw kay Maduro or ayaw sa mga leader, there's still rules of the game. Otherwise, di kanya-kanyang diskarte niya ng klaseng mundo tayo. Kaya nga tayo may international law. Kaya nga may rules of the game. Kaya may legal justification. So, yeah, kahit against Maduro ka, kahit against ka sa mga corrupt na politiko, kung bara-bara na naman tayo, yun nga yung style ni Digong, di ba? Patayin na lang lahat. EJK na lang yung ganyang pag-iisip. Yun ang problema natin. Sana we get rid of that.
Yung the ends justify the means.
Or yung talagang kala ng tao, basta call to action tawag siya. Basta may ginawa, basta may gagawin. Dapat yung paraan tama para sustainable yung solution over the long run. So I hope
Cleave it. So, cleave it na rin.
mag-cleave ako ngayon.
Sige, cleave it tayo.
Tsaka kasi di ba ano bang kapamaraanan bago nakuha si Maduro, binomba yung capital nila.
Tsaka si Ma'am Dani, Mayor Ma'am Dani, ayaw niya nangyayari. So baka dalhin sa Florida, hindi na sa New York. Sa
pero yung kaso kasi, di ba, naisampa sa New York.
But Trump suggested kanina baka idadalhin na lang sa Florida kasi mukhang ayatan ni Ma'am Dani yung... May protesta ngayon as we speak in
New York.
Yeah.
So
weird
ninong may isa pa.
May isa pa. Okay.
Ito na.
From Romel Mananitan,
Parang siya ulit yan,
1093. Wala ka deal ng China ng oil sa South America. Venezuela si Trump na makikinabang.
Okay, so ito obviously...
Take it or leave it muna pala.
Sige. Ano ba? Ako,
Di ko naintindihan.
Hindi ko rin naintindihan.
I think basically... Ganito. Ako both na lang.
Wala nang ka-deal ang China sa oil sa South America. So it will be for Donald Trump na...
Hindi. In fairness, I mean, obviously, hindi lang ito ukol sa oil. I agree na you cannot reduce everything just to oil. But the fact that Venezuela has the biggest oil reserves and Trump said everything he said kanina very transparently, also tells us that you cannot deny the aspect that it's also... Kasi, at the end of the day, this is about energy resources, energy security. At ang US, they're expecting a major war down the road. So, the fact that China, right, was gaining access to the biggest oil reserve in the Americas, which is the region of the US, at least that's how they see it, that was a big, big problem for them. But Having said that, I just hope we don't reduce everything just to oil and all. And at the end of the day, that oil belongs to the Venezuelan people. I don't care what regime is there, it belongs to the Venezuelan people. So if, as Filipinos, we should support the Venezuelan people, their freedom, libertad, you know, and also, of course, sana bumalik sa prosperity ulit. Yun ang kalaban natin sa beauty pageants parati dati. Venezuela eh. Oo. Biglang, tapos Thailand na ngayon dahil bumili ng Thailand.
Pero kinlaro nga hindi naman daw totoo na ibibenta, di ba?
Kay Singson. Nag-aaway na sila, oo.
Ano ba yan?
Ba't napunta sa Miss Universe? So we're talking about this very serious
Venezuela, yun ang alam nyo, di ba, pag Venezuela, yun ang talagang competition natin. Talagang,
Pero sa larangan ito, supportahan nga natin ang
the beautiful
welfare of
people
the Venezuelan people.
and Valenzuela. And Valenzuela.
O, sino winner natin?
Sige nga.
Dalawang winners.
Dalawang
Sino gusto
winners.
nyo?
Okay.
Ako gusto ko yung si Dennis Ang, 1432.
Tama. Agree.
May nanalo na kagad.
may nanalo
Parang
na.
tayo, may nanalo na.
Tapos sino pa? Sino pa yung gusto nyo? Ang daya
Ayun, hindi na kailangan baguhin ng
Si
framework.
Rommel, ang daming comment.
Oo.
Pero, parang maga din to. Maga Pinoy din to.
Iyan nagusara. Okay din
Iyan
naman,
na
hindi
lang
kailangan
yan,
baguhin ng
Iyan at
framework ng
Dennis.
government.
This is
Sige,
si Ian at
congrats.
si Dennis.
Dennis.
Ayan.
Si
So
Romel.
nanalo kayo ng with due
Si
respect.
Rommel, ibang show ka na lang siguro manalo. Medyo pang maga yung ano niya eh.
Okay, congrats sa mga nanalo. Now, let's watch this video.
Yun. Finally.
Bawat hakbang sa lupa ng bayan, pusong nag-aalab, handang lumaban sa kalsada ng pangarap. Tayo'y sabay, hawak kamay, Team Pinas ang taglay. Bagong umaga, tayo ang simula, liwanag ng pag-asa, Team Pinas ang dala, isigaw sa mundo. Team Pinas, Team Pinas, tayo. Kulay ng bawat ating inspirasyon, ulat bughaw, dilaw na patnubay ng nasyon. Sa bawat bituin, kwento ng tagumpay, tayo'y magkaisa, pangarap ay sabay. Bagong umaga, tayo ang simula, liwanag ng pag-asa, Team Pinas ang dala, isigaw sa mundo. Team Pinas, Team Pinas, tayo. Bagong umaga, tayo ang simula, liwanag ng pag-asa. Team Pinas ang dala, isigaw sa mundo. Team Pinas, Team Pinas, tayo. Team Pinas, Team Pinas, tayo.
Alright, diba? Parang ang saya na natin, no?
Ang bigat naman pinag-usapan naman natin kanina.
Ayun na nga, anong New Year's resolution nyo?
Hindi, ako, for me, more yung sense of dark humor. Kailangan mo talaga, hindi na-gets na dapat sila tumatawa na pang seryosong topic. Everyday yung pag-usapan mga ganitong topic, parang hindi mabaliw. So, kailangan nyo ng dark humor. I think satire, dark humor is our best weapon. Kaya ang resolution ng sarili ko, I have absolutely nothing to change about myself.
O, di ikaw na.
Isa kang take it or leave it.
Cleve it.
Akala ko radikal na pagmamahal. Ang gagawin natin.
O ikaw, Carlo.
Oo, parang feeling ko nga, in line with what Richard said, no? Parang not to take everything so seriously. Bigat-bigat na ng mundo.
Or not take ourselves seriously. Take the topic, but not ourselves.
Not ourselves seriously, no? Parang lighten natin ng konti. At dalawa sa akin, tsaka step up na rin natin
Parang
yung...
kinakabahan siya nung sabi ko, don't take it seriously Kasi ang ganda ng ano dito system setup dito.
Oo. So yun, tsaka...
Ikaw, may resolution ka?
Oh, ito
Ako,
muna.
it's gonna be a year of love and compassion.
Ba
Talagang sinimulan mo kasi...
We're too preoccupied with work. We forget about compassion and love. Dapat with everything that we do, it has to have...
Pwede ka na
come with love
mag-ICI.
and,
Di ba sabi niya, all we need is love.
All we need is love.
Wala nang natira sa Sumama ka na.
I think sana tayong busy, we forget to love, to fall in love, to, you know...
Kaya pala yung mga ganyan messages mo sa akin, no? Ano, parang depressed ka.
Di ba?
Akala ko mag-isip sila.
Akala ko off the record yan.
No. Sentimental. Kasi makikita mo hindi yung parang reflective. yung
Right,
gano'n, no?
right.
And genuinely
reflect.
fall in love. O dahil dyan,
Aba,
at dyan na naman
Kaya
po,
pala nakahugot siya dun sa radical.
Oo, iba yung... Ano
hugot ni
eh.
Sandro. At dyan naman po nagtatapos ang isa't kalahating oras ng bardagulan at malamang talakayan natin sa iba't ibang issue sa Pilipinas.
Muli, maraming salamat po sa lahat na naka-vibe check at naki-deep dive ngayon hapon, mga ka-radical lovers.
Nabitin ba kayo sa kwentuhan? Kasi mukhang bitin na bitin kami. Huwag po kayong mag-alala dahil makakasama niyo po ulit kami sa susunod na linggo. Susunod, niyo mapakikinggan sa DZMM Radyo Patrol sa Istrenta, FMR Radio stations at PRTV ang programang Connect Ka Dyan kasama sina Franco Reyes at Doc Luisa. Tandaan, wala pong personalan. Dito lang yan sa
With due respect!
Happy New Year!
Happy New Year!